Hi everyone, it's Leandra. I'm going to be talking about what it was like going back to college within my mid-20s. Something that people don't always talk about is how different college can feel when you go back during your mid-20s. I originally attended community college at 18, 19, but at that point in my life, I was not nearly as focused or organized as I am now. I took and retook classes, struggled with consistency, and did not always manage my time or deadlines the way I should have. When I decided to go back and pursue my bachelor's degree in my mid 20s, I approached school completely different. I was older, I was more serious about what I wanted, and much more aware of how important it was to stay organized and meet my deadlines. Going back to school while working full time has not been easy, but it's made me more effective and efficient. I check my assignments early, planned my whole week around my work schedule to fit that in. I try to break larger projects into smaller steps instead of waiting until the very last minute. 11:59 for those of you who know. The version of myself who returned for her bachelor's degree is completely different from the Leandra who was taking and retaking classes at community college. Back then, I did not always have the discipline or sense of direction that I have now. Now I understand why I'm in school, what I'm working towards. In fact, the degree that I'm pursuing currently really wasn't a thing or a focus when I was taking classes around the first time. Um, and I completely understand what it will mean to finally finish my degree. One of the biggest lessons I have learned is going back later does not mean you failed. Sometimes you need time to mature, learn from your earlier choices, and become more prepared for the responsibility. I'm not going to pretend that I have the perfect routine. There are still some weeks where I feel overwhelmed trying to balance work, school, relationships, errands, and everything else. But I'm much better at planning, prioritizing, and continuing even when I am tired. Going back to school in my mid 20s allowed me to prove to myself what I could be, that I could be more disciplined, organized, and committed than I ever was before. I'm proud of how much I've changed, and I think the timing helped me take my education more seriously. I know the timing allowed me to take my education more seriously. My advice to anyone who's considering going back to school is to not be embarrassed of your timeline. My mom, in her words of reassurance to me, was I'm just the type of person who does things at my own pace on my own timeline. And to support that, she told me that, I think I was like a week late from her projected labor and delivery date. um, my question to all of you is, are there some of you that are going to college later? Or are any of you thinking of returning? Let me know what changed for you.